Well, hello and welcome back to the channel, everybody. My name is Dark Sage Walker, and it feels like I was just doing this about, 8 hours ago. But today, we are going to be restarting my Arcana Spotlight series, and why do I keep forgetting where Tomi is? This is what happens when you watch an idiot at work. Alright, so we are going to be focusing today on Wind Slash. It is pretty much the most underwhelming spell out there. I mean, the damage isn't horrible, but that's until you realize that I'm still wearing the rule robe. So, for purposes of this particular build, I'm going to be focusing a little bit on... Well, basically we're going to be becoming a Storm Mage, so... Here's what's going to be controlling the wind. Now we need some lightning. What would be the best lightning? Well, maybe not best, but what's the lightning I want to use? I think we are going to be using... Oh, so many lightning spells I like. It's probably my favorite element in this game. So I'm gonna need some semblance of control. So, twin turbines. And then I just did Aqua Breaker yesterday as my signature. I don't necessarily want to do the same thing again. Sometimes my thought process takes me to interesting places. Okay, yeah, we're gonna try that. And we're gonna go with the old critical hit setup. I know, I'm so original, guys, I swear. And my usual critical hit setup involves starting with the analytical monocle. Trust me, if it's not Sierra Mist, it's Sparkling Ice, and I love them both. Okay, yeah, we're gonna go with the Dark Katana setup because that's going to affect both Radiant Beat and Wind Slash. All right. Go ahead and grab my gems, or my gold. Is there anywhere in particular that I care to start? Honestly, I think I'm just gonna go. Alright, so water, electricity, fire. So we actually started with the easy one first because we've got moves that will be effective against her. Alright, so as you can see, one of the big issues that I have with Wind Slash is that it doesn't cover a lot of ground. Like, like, if Wind Slash feels really underwhelming and kind of unimpressive, I think that's because it was designed to feel that way. But hey, we get to upgrade it right away. So now, Wind Slash creates some extra wind projectiles to cover more ground. And let's be fair about Wind Slash, it is the very first basic you get in the game. So it's not meant to be like super impressive or like majorly effective. It's there just so you can say you have a basic, real honestly. I don't know. About the most interesting thing there is the Vampire Fangs for the Sanguine attire. Now, I will say that the upgrade definitely added something to Wind Slash that gives it some worth. I'm kind of surprised by that, honestly. But it's still about as basic as a basic Arcana can get. Like, its range is a little bit lacking, its damage is only okay. But the enhancement definitely does something for it, I must admit. I'm gonna grab that because it's gonna help me out later. Okay, so what I am seeing here. I'll get a drink. A Curse Eater's Mask is about the most interesting thing there at this moment in time, aside from the Bounty Hunter seal, which is going to be easy for me to take advantage of. But I don't think I want to take it, mostly because the cursed relics I'm seeing here aren't really that useful. And especially for the spells that I'm using, the Magician's Wand slowing them down doesn't seem like it's going to be all that helpful for me, so I'm going to say no to that. Frost Scimitar, on the other hand, is interesting. And as per usual, I want to make sure that I take on as many combat rooms as possible so I can move on to the next floor with as much money as possible. So, I was coming in here prepared to say that Wind Slash is pretty much the worst basic in the game. And now realizing what they've done to the spell to make it more interesting, like, I'm not sure that's the case anymore. Like, they actually kind of improved its range just a little bit, not a huge amount, but enough. And the enhancement does actually a lot for it. Pardon me. On top of the idea that those little extra wind projectiles add on extra hits and damage, like, actually, I'm kind of digging this. Like, I did not expect myself to come in here and go, oh, Wind Slash is actually kind of good now. I mean, it's still very limited in its range. But if you're willing to put up with that, it's a sword. It's a move that has a decent amount of damage and counts as a melee move. So you can use that with things like Dark Katana or other things that affect melee to pretty decent effect, actually. So I gotta admit, coming in here with Wind Slash was actually a little sobering. Trust me, before the Phantom update, it was as basic got. Everything was just very average about it, except for its range, which was very poor. And that led, of course, to the idea that weren't a whole lot of good reasons to take it over anything else. Now it kind of seems like it's more of a high-risk, high-reward option. Yeah, the range is still garbage, but if you're willing to put up with that, you've got a spell that can actually do some good for melee builds like what I'm working with right now. That was entirely by accident, I assure you. I was just taking it because... I was taking it mostly because it was a decent synergy for melee builds in general. And I was already working with Radiant Beat, so why not? It turns out we've got something very nice here. Also, I'm seeing what spells Iris has for sale, and once again, I'm questioning, why does she not help me out with what I'm working with? Like, seriously, Iris, what gives? Alright, well, that's ultimately disappointing. Though if I do decide to pick up Frost Fan, that gives me a little bit more control. But the most interesting thing here is Rudra's Pinwheel. And it's not great, but it's something. Aqua Arc? Man, no. So I suppose this leads to the question of, is Wind Slash still the worst basic? Like, originally, Wind Slash was the basic that just started the game. And its only real purpose was to make sure you had a basic until you could get something better. Which was pretty much anything. So now the question becomes, is it still the worst basic? There we go. Hello, Arcsphere, how are you? So now, do I spend my money on Frost Fan, or do I just go? Because, It's not going to be effective against the twins, but it will be effective against Zeal. The obvious other problem is that it's not going to synergize with Dark Katana. And that having been said, though, my basic and my signature will always work well with it, so why not? That is a bit of a risk, because it leaves me with basically no money to move on to the next floor with, but I still have the Bounty Hunter seal, so as long as I make sure that Freya gets beaten by one of my lightning spells, that will also provide me with a decent amount of money to move on to the next floor with. There we go. Looking spiffy. And that, of course, is the whole reason why I picked up Bounty Hunter Seal. Is so that I would have a little bit more freedom with my funds. And now we're more or less sitting pretty on money again. Something I wish I could say in real life, but as we all know, no one's making enough money to survive right now aside from fucking billionaires. Okay, no, stop it! Okay, yeah, that room is awful. But it's as I keep saying, elemental summoners are just hits. Like, I keep saying that there's a lot of enemy types that I hate, and, you know, that's because you're supposed to. But very few enemy types are as legit dangerous as elemental summoners. Like, elemental summoners can really just ruin your day. Like, do I even have to explain why I'm taking that? Like I'm hoping that this isn't like a question of why'd you take that? There we go. This isn't the first time I've had a complete 180 on an Arcana that I just didn't have a lot of experience with. Yes, I could have taken the portal, but hey, something about running. It's just it's good for you. Hey, it's good for you to get some exercise, and that's what I was thinking of. It's just good exercise. What do we have here? Well, seeing as my basic is kind of important, I'll probably end up grabbing the bubblegum. We'll save the rest of our funds until I know what I can pick up from Iris. You know, maybe she'll actually be helpful and improve my twin turbines. Wouldn't that be nice? I think the last time I 180'd this hard on an Arcana was actually Aqua Vortex, which admittedly would go great with this build. Okay, she's got some sort of vendetta against me, I swear. That having been said, I don't really need the Spark Ray, so we'll do that. I mean, it's not the greatest thing in the world, but I mean, it's something. I don't know, I'm just a little disappointed that this is now 2 runs in a row where she absolutely refuses to upgrade a huge chunk of my arsenal. I get the feeling that there is something that affects that, because for a while I was having no troubles getting upgrades whatsoever. And it does make me think that there, even though I don't know what exactly the formula is, there's some sort of algorithm or something that determines whether she's going to offer you upgrades to what you're working with, or if she's just gonna sell whatever she feels like selling. There has to be something to it, but I don't know how the formula works. Just especially upsetting because there's even a formula to how Nocturne and Dr. Song determine what they're going to pick, what they're going to take from you when you offer to give them something. But there's nothing for Iris in determining what she's going to choose to upgrade, or if she's just going to sell whatever she feels like selling. No, it doesn't make sense. There's got to be some way of determining that. Frost Scimitar. There's a reason why you're one of my favorites. Oh. I obviously missed that one, but I noticed my mistake. Okay, seriously, what the actual hell? Yo, twin turbines, I've had this from the beginning of the run. That's what needs to be upgraded right now. And granted, the important thing to upgrade was the basics, since I'm focusing on that for this Spotlight episode. But still, she could at least be trying to help me out here. Okay, yeah, problem. I don't want to give up twin turbines, so I can't necessarily use Dr. Song's services effectively. So this is what happens when Iris doesn't cooperate with you. There it goes. Oh, hello. Ooh, and there's the Ring of Reserves. Alright, that's looking better. And I like the Journal of Midas, so I'll probably be back for that before the end of this floor. Hold on. Okay, I thought I was going to be smart there and be like, see, this is why you don't ignore those, and then I found nothing. I was like, oh, okay, yeah, that's why you ignore this. Go back for the journal. And since I am working with a mostly melee-focused build, I will go ahead and share with you the one thing that I've learned about doing melee-focused builds: positioning. Positioning is your best friend. If you see something that's about to hit you, you reposition yourself, get out of that mess as fast as you can. I don't know why I'm saying it like that. No, you're not getting away from me that easily. Nice, but not when you're going up against the Fire Lady. Fire Lady. Alright, made a mistake. Oh, hello. I don't have any fire. So that's disappointing, but you know, I can think of worse things than not being able to open that, such as being surprised by every firewall in existence. Hey, can we not be super cheap and just come in with every single homing attack in the game? Okay, so she's willing to sell me back the Arcana that I left behind, but she's not willing to upgrade twin turbines. Oh my goodness, this is getting frustrating. Like, is it like on a by Arcana basis? Like, does every Arcana have a chance to show up in her shop upgraded or whatever? Or is it based on your recent win percentage? Like, I'm really curious as to how this works, because I'm at this point just getting really upset with the process. See, this change from an episode criticizing Windslash to an episode criticizing Iris. Because honestly, Windslash isn't the problem. Actually, I'm kind of pleased with how they changed the Windslash. It's actually worth using now. I'm surprised by that. Because trust me, when the game first came out, Windslash was the very much nothing to see here, move along folks Arcana. And those of you who have been playing the game for a while probably remember that. Excuse me, what the hell is going on? Like, I'm very upset right now. Like, I don't even know what hit me there. Was it one of those stupid buzzsaw things? Because I don't believe that. Oh, hello, bouncing bubble. I'll take that. I'm just racking my brain trying to figure out how this works. Like, this is now 2 runs in a row where she has refused to level up something that I've been working with. Definitely take that. It'll help out with some of those close range shenanigans. By the way, if it seems like I'm not saying much about Windslash, it's because I've kind of already said all there is to be said. Any other interaction that Windslash has, it gains from like relics. Such as the flak gauntlets that make it so that melee basics. I think I said that wrong. That makes it so that melee basics can destroy enemy projectiles. Oh, there's the boss room. But Windslash in and of itself is, or at least was, as basic gets fairy. See, you don't hesitate when one of your Sylvan friends is in need. You just say, yes, I will help you. And even though the range isn't much better than it was before, although admittedly still a bit of it, it's still pretty low range, but I wouldn't call that the biggest problem. And by the way, to those of you who are already thinking about typing something in the comments, I ignored I ignored Seville because at the time I was just very low on money. Yeah, she absolutely refuses to upgrade Twin Turbine. Like, does Twin Turbine even have an upgrade anymore? Probably just gonna let that go. So it's not that I forgot about Seville, it's just at the time I didn't really have enough money to take advantage of his services. Like, I wish I knew someone who had some inside knowledge on on the game's coding and algorithm so I could figure this out, because it's really kind of eating me up now. Iris has now become perhaps the game's most unreliable NPC. Take that. Shovel is kind of useless, so I don't think there's anything else here I'd really dig, though. Excuse me, how did that hit? More fairies. Yes, we have ourselves a beautiful selection of Sylvan friends. And I say selection, but really what it boils down to is I love them all. So even if Iris doesn't have my back, I know that the fairies have my back. That was stupid. There we go. Alright, looking good. And Dynamic Disarray. Like, I almost want to take that just instead of Twin Turbines, just because I know that Twin Turbines isn't getting any attention. You know what? I think I will. See, now we've got two bouncy boys. That'll help control space really well. Plus, it synergizes really nicely with the Ring of Reserves. I made a stupid. Oh really, Darksage? Tell us what else is new. There we go. Alright. Looking spiffy. I mean, at least she's willing to upgrade frost scimitars after for fucking ever. Alright, because I have a lot of bouncy boys, I actually think I'm going to go with that. What's really getting me about Wind Slash is it was the thing I came in here most prepared to roast. Ends up being one of my higher damage options. And yeah, that is in part because of Rudra's Pinwheel, but I mean, I'd be lying if I said that it wasn't worth at least trying out Wind Slash once just to see what you think. They definitely went out of their way to try to make it better, and it shows. Like, they really did try. And I think that for the most part it succeeds. It went from being the thing that you most readily ignored to something that's actually worth giving another look. Ow. Owie. Oh, come on, seriously? There we go. Finish off my sparkling ice at the same time as I finish off the run. See, that's how you do it. That's how you get that swag. Alright, so overall, Wind Slash. It's not as basic as it used to be. It used to be very average across the board in just about every respect, but they decided to up the stakes a little bit with it for the Phantom update, and I appreciate that. It's just another sign that the devs are really putting in a lot of effort to try to balance things out a bit. Except for Iris. They need to make Iris more friendly. I don't understand why she hates me so much. Well, there you go. Ultimately, my opinion on Wind Slash is give it another try. It's not as bad as it used to be. Like, the base damage is better. They added in an effect that really gives it a little bit of oomph when you enhance it. Give it a try. It's good. It's not great. It's not like S tier or anything, but it's like a solid B plus at least. So give it another go. Who knows? You might be pleasantly surprised and actually want to use it for your melee-based builds. And because of the little extra hits that the projectiles add at the enhancement, or with the enhancement, I should say, it actually turns into a pretty decent contender for a Dark Katana build. And especially since it actually looks like a slash. You're actually using the Dark Katana. It's kind of fun. So, that's my take. Agree with me, disagree with me, let me know in the comments below, or hit me up on my social media, links to which will be in the description below. The deadline is almost here for the Wizard of Metal poll, so if you have an opinion on it, drop that there. The link to that is also in the description. I appreciate you guys for spending some of your free time with me, and hopefully we can have an interesting discussion on what was pretty much the worst basic in the game. And I'll catch you guys later. My name is Dark Sage Walker, and I will be seeing you.